Welcome to the Parts Girl podcast, powered by PartsEdge with Kaylee Felio. Conversations that will transform the way we do business. Gain insight into the wins and struggles from automotive professionals.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Parts Girl podcast. I'm very excited to be interviewing Stan with PartsPass. Welcome, Stan.
Hey Kaylee, great to be here.
Yeah, great to have you. I love how we connected because I think I saw you post something on LinkedIn and it said parts. So I was like, what is this? I got to learn about it.
Fantastic. Yeah, you got a great eye for specific keywords. And we're all about the part industry, specifically automotive.
Absolutely. So for the people that don't know who you are, do just a quick intro, who you are, what you do, how you got in the industry and all that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was born in the former Soviet Union. My parents immigrated from the Soviet Union in 1990. My dad went straight into the workforce as a mechanic, working on the taxis in New York City. Shortly after 9/11, we moved to Phoenix, Arizona, where I currently live. And I started working alongside with my dad as a owner-operator, service advisor for the past 17 years. I started a app called Parts Detect, specifically for mechanics to search for car parts locally from suppliers. And started my second venture, PartsPass, about 8 months ago for the do-it-yourselfers and the do-it-for-me's.
Oh, okay. So it's fresh, 8 months. It's pretty new.
It is exciting to put something out there and see the way people respond to it, right? So we just wanted to go into different industries, specifically the auto industry that I know so well. And the hardest part for mechanics, shop owners, do-it-yourselfers, just anyone that owns a vehicle is sourcing replacement parts.
Yeah, so let's talk about what you created. So you saw a problem and then you created a solution. So how does the solution work?
So the great thing about PartsPass is that it's completely free. It's a mobile app, and we have artificial intelligence integrated into it. So a user is able to take a picture of the car from any angle, whether it's the quarter panel, the front of the car, the back of it, the fender side of it, and that AI will help decode that make and model. So when we really started focusing on that, we wanted to make sure that we bring value to the users. And some of the key points of value is making the user experience as efficient and easy as possible. And this is where AI kind of takes place. We wanted to make sure that we have quality parts, right? So we only carry name brand parts. And we want to make sure that we have a price structure that can't be beat. So ultimately, it's the user experience, the quality of parts, and the price structure that really gave us the go-ahead, I guess you can say, to move forward with this. And so my team and I started building it about a year and a half ago, I would say, just about now. And it's been fantastic for us. We really strive to listen to the users and adapt and change very quickly. And that's something that we're proud of doing because we've been out for 8 weeks, 8 months. And on a weekly basis, we try to upload changes or features that we've been working on a weekly, if not bi-weekly basis. So we're always changing, we're adapting and innovating at the same time.
I think that's very important. It's like you guys didn't create something and just let it go. You're creating it and also seeing more opportunity, adapting and being innovative. Now, I had a question that popped into mind. How are dealerships incorporated into this at all?
So
are there at all?
Definitely, we're having conversations with national dealerships that have coverage in pretty much anywhere and everywhere, right? So right now we have inventory of our own that we ship the same day and delivered within 48 hours, right? So we have 27 different distribution centers throughout the country that are our own independent distribution channels. It allows that delivery to be done within 2 days. We have over 2.5 million SKU numbers in stock. And the beautiful thing about it is that we are very encouraged to expand that, right? So we're selling replacement parts like radiators, alternators, and all that jazz. But I think the value here is we really want to work with the dealerships for the body parts, the bumpers, the fenders, the mirrors, the handles, interior, exterior doors. So I think that one of the challenges that we face so far with that is that there's so many parts on a vehicle, and there's so many vehicles on the roads today. The cataloging is very difficult to work with. So I'm very proud of what we've accomplished because we have our own catalog systems for those specific parts. But working with dealerships, I believe, is going to really allow us to expand our footprint and at the same time give the dealerships exposure on the platform. So we're really excited to start that venture very shortly, I should say. And just the whole team is really excited about evolving and expanding our branches, I guess you can say.
Yeah, because I hope this episode really helps you, because I feel like a lot of my listeners are in the dealership world. And my first thought was like, isn't this might be a tough question, but the way you guys are now, wouldn't that be like you're kind of competing with dealerships in a way? You're kind of taking away those do-it-yourselfers that come to dealerships? That might be a hard question to ask, but it came into my mind, so I had to ask it.
That's a totally legitimate question, and a question that we've been asked before. And we look at it as more of a partnership than anything else, right? We're not here to compete with anyone. What I found interesting is that I've noticed here in Phoenix, more dealerships are offering their customers two options when they're replacing a specific part. Option A is original equipment, which they have, or option B would be an aftermarket option. For example, a Napa Auto Parts, right? So they'll offer that product to them and have the customer decide which route they want to go. So the industry itself is kind of changing slowly, and I believe that more and more dealerships are adapting to that, because that's, at the end of the day, that's what consumers want. I think that's going to be extremely important for dealerships to understand and possibly adapt to more, because people are either bringing their own parts more, or they're doing the research to see what is available, what can be installed in my vehicle, and they want to have the last option to say. And just kind of, unpack that a little bit more, the body parts, the bumpers, the fenders, the parts that we do not have, this is an opportunity for us to work with dealerships and put a spotlight on their inventory as well.
Yeah, and I would feel like you would need to get involved in the dealerships that are heavily into, wholesale and have body shops, because there are quite a few dealerships that don't like to carry body parts because of the cost that can, if it's not the right color, you can't return those parts very easily. So I feel like a lot of dealerships don't stock them very often, or they try not to, unless they're actually in that business, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of body parts that come painted, which I find a little great from a consumer standpoint, but I think it limits them as well. So I just bought a piece for my Mercedes and it came painted. And then I have another vehicle that I ordered, a 99 Mercedes S320 big body, right? So it needed a couple of parts on the bumper itself, and those parts came unpainted. So they were not painted. I didn't understand what the logic behind parts that come, specifically body parts that come painted. Would you know anything about that?
That's a good question, because I don't answer to that. I just know that some come painted and some don't, and it's very hard, like if they're damaged, or it's like it's more sensitive than regular parts to stock them and return them, and and they take up a lot of space. But yeah, no, I don't know why some come painted and some don't. So maybe someone knows the answer that's listening and will tell us.
Yeah, definitely let me know. I'm interested. I couldn't find an answer to it. I asked the counter guys and they didn't seem like they knew either. So if anyone out there knows the answer, please let us know.
We want to know. Well, this is really cool. So you guys are working in creating partnerships with dealerships, and your focus is, body parts, right? So how has it worked so far with consumers finding you guys and utilizing you? Because I'm trying to understand it too. So like, do you guys have those aftermarket parts too also? So
we
like
do,
you're competing with like probably O'Reilly more then, right?
I would say so. Yeah. So it what we're focused on is the rural parts of America where they don't have the available or accessibility to the O'Reillys or the Napas of the world, right? So you can't rely on eBay, you can't rely on Amazon, you can't rely on Google to do a basic search. I've done it hundreds of times throughout my years, and that's something that I really notice is that all those search results are incomplete, or inaccurate. So we wanted to make sure that the fitment was absolutely correct and spot on before we took it to market. And what we've noticed over the past couple months is that our users are coming from the rural parts of America. We have some coastline users, but predominantly they're kind of away from the cities, right? So these are the people that work on their own vehicle. And I think the option of having an original equipment part and an aftermarket OE part, from a user's perspective, we want options, right? So that's something that we really want to work on as well. So if we find the partners, the dealerships of the world that can, if it's a good match and we align with our values and our cultures as well, we want to really adapt that and give the users more opportunities, right? That's where I see PartsPass going. So we kind of took it to market to where we are now, but the expansion, the evolution is all about options. And we really want to give that back to the users and give them the option. And like I say, put the power in their hands in a sense.
Yeah. And the piece of technology that you guys have created is the ability for the user to actually find the parts that they need using AI. Because sometimes, I mean, if you've ever worked in a parts department, those catalogs are really hard to read. And a consumer that's never even seen a catalog before and understanding how to read each one is just, they have to learn that. And it's not something you can look at and yeah, it's overwhelming. So you guys kind of have solved that, right?
We did, yeah. And again, it's a 3-step process, right? You take a picture of the car, or if the vehicle's available in front of you, we have a drop-down menu as well. So you can do year, make, model, and then continue on to the next screen. And then you enter a part that you need, and we'll show you that part, the price structure of it, some manufacturer notes, the warranty of it as well. And then you can check out fairly easily. The cool thing about the app is we look at the most hits of what people are searching for, and we kind of put that on the home screen. So we have a pre-populated option list of the top 10 search parts, and we always put that on the front page. So that way it kind of alleviates one extra step of a person entering that part that they need.
Yeah.
I guess, right? That's the thought process behind it. Again, we're always trying to make it more user-friendly and easier to avoid multiple steps. Let's just kind of focus on that KISS rule, right? Keep it simple, Stan.
Yeah, keep it simple. I'm just taking notes. I'm looking down because I'm writing things to remember to ask you, because I don't know if you guys have seen this opportunity, but I see more of an opportunity for you guys, for parts people in the dealership to use this, or even text, like while they're working on a car, they can take a picture and like somehow it's all connected with the software that the dealerships use to stock parts, their DMS. And then that would help them find that parts rather than a parts person searching in the catalog and trying to find. Have you guys thought about that? Or is that not what you're saying is how it works?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right about that. And it's just the only thing that really held us back and continues to hold us back is those partnerships and the willingness to work together. But you're absolutely right. There's so much value in putting, the technicians on the front line and allowing them to search for parts. So you alleviate so much communication between the service advisor and the parts house and the distribution center, right? So all those extra people are involved, and you can just alleviate that by using a product like PartsPass that allows a quick 5-second search. It tells you if it's in stock. You can add a PO number. You can process the transaction right there. So everything is very quick and simple.
Yeah, and I don't even see it fully replacing like parts people or the service advisors. I see it as like the tech takes the picture, it tells, it shows up everything that they need, and then it just submits it to the parts people to handle the rest of the process, to, get all the paperwork and get all that situation. So the tech doesn't have to worry about it. It's just an easier way of actually, this is the actual part I need and not having to search in the catalog.
Yeah, absolutely. Those minutes multiplied by how many people you have in one location, multiply that by how many locations there are throughout the country. I mean, that's hours, hundreds of thousands of dollars that are just completely wasted. So all that can be alleviated by just small little changes that you can make, like, one less note to add or one less phone call to make kind of thing, right? So there's a lot of room that you can kind of just trim the fat in a sense.
Yeah.
It just needs to kind of look at it from a different perspective, just like yourself, right? You know the industry really well. I come from the industry as well. So there's small little movements that can be made that can really create a domino effect in the long term.
Absolutely. No, I see this as being a big opportunity for dealerships, whatever direction you guys go. There's lots of opportunity to figure out what's going to work best for the industry. And you guys are onto something really cool.
Yeah, at the end of the day, everyone wants to sell more parts and make customers happy. And customers are made happy by saving a little bit of money and getting their vehicles back on the road very quickly, right? So we expand on that, right? So we want to make it as simple as possible for our partners to use, for our customers to use, and we want to make sure that we have the inventory for our partners' sake and for our users' sake as well. So all in all, I think it's a win-and-win throughout the industry.
I think so too. And that's what we have to do, is use technology to get better and be more efficient, because you're right. We want to sell more parts and make the customers happy.
Absolutely.
I did want to ask you, why do you love what you do? And I'm assuming that you love what you do. So tell us what you love most about what you're doing.
Yeah, when I just got into the service industry, I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand the noise, the dirt. And again, I was just like a teenager at the time. I was 15 years old, and I was like, oh, Dad, don't make me touch this ooey gooey stuff, right? So shortly after that, a few years, my perspective of things really changed. And it wasn't just showing up to work anymore. It was, I'm in a position where I can help people, right? So a car is the second biggest investment a person makes outside of their home, right? Home is number one, vehicle is number two. So whenever something goes bad on your car, you get frustrated and you don't know what to do. So it put me in a position where I am able to explain what that part is, explain the importance of it, and work around the price structure, right? So being an owner-operator, it allowed me to either create a payment plan with that consumer, right? Or it allowed me to communicate deeper than just as a sales associate. It allowed me to build a relationship. And being a community business, right, it's so important that I form these bonds and these relationships and this trust with my customers. And that's where the perspective changed. And that was the driving force for me to continue in the automotive industry and then look at the automotive industry and look for flaws in a sense, right? Or how I can improve certain sectors of it. And for me, time and time again, it was all about parts procurement. I needed to find a part. I hated being on hold. I hated calling multiple places. So I decided to create a solution for it, and we found success there, right? So that part procurement, the checkout process, the searching, the logistics, the fitment information, all that jazz allowed me to really give back to the industry that once gave me so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see that. That's what we have to do, right? When you're in the industry that you love, as humans, we can't just like keep doing what we're doing and just like, you're not living until you're like really, trying to do better. I feel like you're not just like settling. I guess it's the right word. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
no,
it sounds
I totally see that.
Yeah.
Just like Ford himself said, right? If I asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses, right? So he's like, no, I need to create something of my own. So it takes a certain type of individual to step out of that and say, okay, I'm going to change things up a little bit. So entrepreneurship is very challenging at times, but it's very rewarding as well, right? So you got to show up every single day. You got to believe in what you're doing, and the mission has to make sense for you, because you'll be tested time and time again. Absolutely, no doubt about that.
Yeah, let's talk about those tests. Just for people that are listening, because I feel like a lot of us really strive and see opportunities where we want to be an entrepreneur, but it's, sometimes we're held back or we have our own fears. So, taking that leap and doing that, and then getting tested, how did you handle that, going through those tests and trials that you have to go through?
Yeah, so for me, some of the most important factors is believe in the mission. And the worst thing that can happen is you'll either learn something, so you won't be failing at things, right? So you'll learn, you'll adapt, and then you'll change, kind of thing, right? So that's how I look at it. And also the irrational fears. I don't let irrational fear hold me down. With irrational fear, you can talk yourself out of pretty much anything. The worst thing that can happen, like I said, is that you might hear a no, or you might learn a lesson from it. So life is all about lessons, and life's all about chapters. So this chapter of my life, I look back and I've learned so much and I've adapted. So it allows me to create a new chapter, a new opportunity for myself that I'll hopefully grow into, right? So every single day is a new challenge. Every single day is a new lesson for me. Entrepreneurship that's what it is. You're moldable. And can I curse on this podcast?
Sure.
When shit hits the fan, right? When shit hits the fan, I see things very clearly. And unlike other people that I know, when things are going pretty badly, they have a tendency to freeze up, tense up, and they don't know which direction to turn, right? So they just kind of isolate themselves and they just shut down. A specific trait that an entrepreneur has is that they're okay with chaos. They sometimes even perform better under chaos, under stress, whether that's financial, emotional, physical, whatever it may be, right? It's like one quote that is always living rent-free in my head is, "This too shall pass." And I use that time and time again, whether it's something positive or something negative. So when something negative is like running through my mind, I tell myself that this too shall pass, and it allows me to see the light, right? And then when something great happens, same thing, this too shall pass, and it allows me to hold on to it a little bit longer and enjoy that moment even more so. So there's kind of like this conversation that I have with my head time and time again, whether I find myself in a good mood or in a negative mood, I have a little chat with myself. And I think that's very important for people to have.
I agree. When you're talking, I'm thinking about myself and what I'm going through in my life right now. And I just feel like we're never constantly like, it's like so cliche, the roller coaster. We're always up and down, up and down. And even when we're down, it's not like things are even that bad. It's just, those are those stressful, those times where, you don't feel like things are, I'm talking about my own like life right now. You don't feel like things are set. It's like, okay, nothing is stable right now.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've had those feelings multiple times just in this past week. So it tells you a little bit that you're perfectly fine. And this emotional roller coaster of life is pretty exciting because we have an opportunity to live, right? We have an opportunity to experience. We have an opportunity to smell, to see, to touch. So during my downtimes, I have to really pull myself out and just see the light. And that's something that you have to do every single day. That's how crazy this life is of ours, right? You have to work on yourself every single day. As a child, you really don't have to, depending on your situation, right? You just get up and you have fun, or you're just under the umbrella of your parents, and that's perfectly great. But once you become an adult, like, things change, and it changes so quickly, and you have to work on yourself every single day. Like I said, pull yourself up. I started going to the gym every single morning, started doing cold plunging, right? So that's really helped me.
What
early
was
morning.
it? What? Cold plunging?
Cold plunge. So when you submerge yourself in water that's like 45 degrees.
I have heard of that.
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely recommend it for anyone out there that's wondering if they should do it. Yes, absolutely. So many benefits out there.
Pregnant. Like when you're not, like, it's probably not good when you're pregnant, but maybe like, yeah, I wouldn't want to try it.
I don't know. I can't comment on that. Talk to your doctor at that point.
Yeah, talk to the doctor. No, right. I've heard of that. And, the only time I've ever experienced like freezing cold water is when the ice bucket challenge was like years ago, and you poured a bucket of water over you, but to submerge yourself in cold water. So what are the benefits of it, or what does it do for you?
So there was a neuropsychologist who went on his podcast. Tim Ferriss had him on. I forgot his name, but he talked about the physical, the emotional, and the mental positivity that cold plunging had on his body, and statistically speaking, for everyone involved. So it rebuilds your red blood cells very quickly, and your white blood cells, I believe. The people that are in my gym, I mean, I see senior citizens that have gout or joint pains. They're there every single day for at least 10 to 15 minutes. And what he said to me is like, if I don't do this, I have pain throughout the day. But every single morning that I come here, I can just get by until the evening time. So he can be fully functional, go out to the store that he needs to, and just live a normal life, right? And that's what I've noticed in myself as well, is that my anxiety kind of came down. I am more looking forward to the day as opposed to just rolling out of bed and going to work, right? So I kind of start my day in that sense. And also great benefits for your digestive system, right? So you have, I believe, gray fat and brown fat. So it allows that gray fat to rebuild or break down. I'm not entirely sure. It's been a while since I listened to that Huberman report. That's what it is.
It works for you.
It works for me for sure. Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, I think that entrepreneurship is a huge undertaking, I guess is the right way to say it. And you have to be in the right mind, and you have to be able to handle all those ups and downs. I feel like, since you have created, this is like essentially your baby, right? You've created this. It's like the saying where like people telling you your baby's ugly kind of thing. How do you handle that? Like, because I'm sure not everyone, because even with me, I didn't create PartsEdge, but I get so frustrated when people don't see it or understand. I'm like, well, how am I not explaining this right? Like, and I don't get totally upset because I'm like, this isn't my baby. You're not calling it ugly, but you basically are. So how do you handle that? Or do you experience that? Do people tell you?
Yeah, for sure. People tend to be a little pessimistic on things, right? And just a little downers on things. So you really have to work on yourself on just shutting out the noise. But in the startup world, specifically within software or app building, they say if you're happy and proud of your first version, then you've waited too long, right? So reading the books that I've read about building a startup and scaling and growing and growth and all that jazz, what they say is that your first version has to be extremely embarrassing. So if you're not embarrassed of your first version, then you did it all wrong. And what they tell you time and time again is like create an MVP, a minimum viable product that you can just kind of put out there and let people experience it and give you a feedback. And that's what we did. So I still get upset and disappointed at people that give me feedback that either has nothing to do with the app or maybe experience, right? And it's hard because you're like, don't be talking about my company like that, my baby like that, right? So yeah. It's one of those things like, don't be so mean, don't be so crucial. But it comes with the territory. I mean, if it's your child, you really can't do anything about it. But if it's an app, or if it's a lobby of a dealership, people are like not happy with it, you can change it, right? It just takes a little bit of time. So you have to bite the bullet in a sense, bite your tongue, and then say everything will be okay. So this too shall pass.
That's the right way to say it. Yeah, and then it's also too, like, I'm sure you guys take those feedbacks and like, okay, if it's just one time, you're probably like, okay, that's probably not something we need to look at right now. But if you're getting requests and the same feedback, like 20 of the same thing, you're like, okay, that's probably something we need to really look at. And then you put that at the top of the list. That's probably, how you adapt.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If it's a one and done, it's a little more hurtful than a group of people. Then I'm like, okay, it's validated.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity for us, right? As opposed to I'm done throwing my hands up in the air and just walking away from everything. It's more of an opportunity, right? And to change, to grow, and to evolve.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I think this is part of the show where I like to do a little personal questions because we're at about 30 minutes. So I'm like, gotta wrap it up. This has been a really great conversation. I really hope a lot of dealerships hear about this and, see some opportunity and reach out. But so that people can get to know you as a person. I feel like you have a favorite mantra, and I've heard a couple quotes that you shared, but is there anything else other than this too shall pass that you always fall back on to carry you through stuff?
Yeah. One quote that's also in my head is, I never said it would be easy, but I said it would be worth it.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was Pablo Picasso.
That sounds right. I think if it was easy, everyone would do it. That's another side to that one. Yeah. This is kind of a fun one. If you could compare yourself to an animal, what would it be and why?
I would say a chameleon because I can adapt to my surroundings fairly quickly, and I'm comfortable in them as well.
That I could see that with you. I don't really know you, but just talking to you, I could see that how you adapt. And so just this kind of side question, I always am curious when people share like what animal they think and why. What's your sign? Like what's your birth month and like sign?
I'm a crab, Cancer.
You're a Cancer. Okay. That's why I'm like, I feel like we're similar because I'm a Cancer too. And I'm very adaptable, and I never have one side. I'm like, I see what you're saying. I also see what you're saying.
Yes.
So I agree with both of you.
Yeah, I have the same exact thing. It's a never-ending battle.
Yeah.
My wife calls me Switzerland because I'm like neutral on everything.
Yeah. I'm so neutral on everything. It's like, it sucks. That's why I hate voting, because I'm like, well, I see the value
Both
in
sides
like,
of it.
Yeah. Like, how do I pick? So yeah, I think it's a Cancer thing. Okay, superpowers. If you could have 3 superpowers, what would they be? And if you can't come up with 3, just come up with 1, because I know 3 is kind of hard.
I would say flying for sure.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Breathing underwater.
Okay.
And X-ray vision.
Oh, that's cool.
X-ray vision I'll take back. I'll say, I don't know if I would want immortality, to live forever.
No.
Because then you're not really living, are you?
No.
Right?
No.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, in a sense, I feel like we do kind of live forever, but it's like we live in different. We could go really spiritual on that, and I don't want to go into it, but I see there's like, yeah. But breathing underwater, I've never heard anyone say that. That would be so cool. You're like a mermaid,
right? Yeah.
Okay. How would your grandma describe what you do?
She has no idea. My grandma's super foreign, and all she wants to know is, have I been fed? Have I eaten yet? And that's all she wants. That's the only thing she asks me.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's Grandma, I do eat food.
Yes, Grandma. She's like, okay, I'll make you a sandwich anyway. Sit down.
I love grandmas like that. Yeah. That's kind of, for me, what I remember of my great grandma. They were Italian, and there was like food. You always had to eat. Just feed. Yes. Even if you weren't hungry, just eat the food.
I agree. I love her for that. I love
her. Okay, and then what's like something that you like to do for fun other than working? Is there anything cool or interesting hobby?
Just started pickleball, which I am in love with. Fastest growing sport.
Like the little, it's almost like a circle thing.
No. So this is just like you're pretty much almost on like a miniature size, a smaller size tennis court. And you can say tennis meets ping pong, right?
Oh, yes.
So it's 2-on-2. My wife and I play. We love it. I highly encourage people to get on that pickleball express train because it's super fun. It was once owned by senior citizens, and then everyone else kind of started picking it up, and I love it. We play, a couple times a week. I also flip cars on the side, something that I've loved to do for a very long time.
Very cool.
I'm always looking for a good deal and repairing them a little bit here and there, fixing them up a little bit, and then selling it to somebody else that would really enjoy it. So that's another little side hustle that I have that I've had since I was a teenager, and still true and true. I love doing it.
That's like the sign of a true mechanic at heart, because I know a lot of mechanics that do that. So
yeah, and a lot of them are like, once I leave the shop, I don't want to do anything, right? So I forgot how the joke goes, but a mechanic would never work on his own car, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those funny things.
They always have a broken car that needs to be fixed.
True.
Because they never fix their own stuff or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, just like a carpenter's house is never ever done because they're always fixing everyone's house.
Exactly. Yeah, just like a handyman or something. Same exact thing. Same exact thing.
Well, this has been really fun, and like I said, I hope a lot of people get so much out of this and reach out to you, because it sounds like you guys are on the up and coming of just really adapting and getting into the dealership partnership. So hopefully this is helpful. How can people find you?
I'm on Instagram, stan.founder. And you can find me on LinkedIn as well, first name, last name, and check out PartsPass.app, where you can find me as well. Yeah, www.partspass.app. We're available on the Apple market, and we're launching on the Android market, I'd say by September. really exciting things.
Yeah, that's exciting. And we'll have all the links too in the bio so everyone can just click on them. They want to find you. And with that, is there anything that you want to add before we wrap up?
Nope, everything's been great. Thanks for the opportunity. I really had a good time.
Yeah, thank you, Stan.
Thank you for joining us. PartsEdge, the power tool for your parts department. We hope you're leaving feeling motivated, challenged, and inspired.